What's up, folks? Welcome back to the channel. My name is MFozzii. I hope you're all having a fantastic day, and it's Monday, and that means we're dropping more custom tactics for FIFA 21. I hope this weekend went well for you. Obviously, there's Bundesliga team of the season players in the picks this Thursday, so looking forward to that. I've already got packed Davies, as you can see in the bottom of the screen there. And just to explain real quick, there's a gap on my team. Trippier team of the season was playing right back for me this past weekend. Anywhere you see, we're going to put Mbabu in right back. Anywhere you see Mbabu, that was Trippier last week. So you know, with the chemistry, it looks a little bit weird, but we put Trippier into the 85 plus, we got Davies. So that's a dub. So we're going to be taking a look at the 5-2-1-2. This, if you scroll through my channel, I've done a couple different videos on it, is one of my favourite formations throughout this entire year of FIFA, to be honest. I think the 3 centre back just works so well. I've tried to replicate it with 2 centre backs, have a defensive midfielder and drop between defenders, but it creates a very weird transition, and it just makes it quite difficult to have a good flow, attack and be defensively stable. So that's why the 5-2-1-2 I think is unmatched. The 5-3-2, we've got custom tactics videos on that as well if you look through the channel. But I feel like the 5-2-1-2 is just a little bit more attacking, and it worked wonders for me this weekend. I went for slightly different tactics than I normally would run, and we'll take a look at those now. So you can see 5-2-1-2, fast build up and pressure on heavy touch. Now, the pressure and heavy touch, we have a 5 width and we have 7 depth. I've been toning the depth down a little bit. I was an advocate of 8 for quite some time, and I found that for how I personally need to play, I don't have the time anymore to commit like heavy hours into the game. I still play it for more than the average, or more than the casual would anyway. But I don't have that crazy amount of time to grind rivals all week, grind 30 games of champs comfortably. So playing that balls out 8, 9, 10 depth all out for that doesn't work for me. Just that's how it is. So we're turning it back a bit. I played 7. I'm going to be testing 6 depth with some different tactics this week on a 4-3-1-2. So keep an eye out for that next Monday. But we've got 7 depth, 5 width. 5 width is kind of the standard. I go for in all formations. It just works quite nicely. And I went for fast build up. Now, if you go through the past probably month or 2, it's basically been press after possession loss and anything. And I think it's finally lost its gem for me. It doesn't have that same click anymore. Particularly if you only run 5 back, you can run press after possession loss, but I feel if you ever go to a 4 at the back, it just leaves you so exposed to 3 balls. So I've switched to pressure and heavy touch. It didn't feel too different from balance, but you can definitely tell when that heavy touch comes in. It doesn't define what heavy touch is, but you can definitely feel that in game. Those moments where maybe 3 players start tracking down the ball. Wrong button. We're hitting there. Fast build up was opposed to long ball. And what I will say is, I love the transition build up. You'd win the ball back. The team would be really eager. Obviously, details they can be caught out of position then after that. But to be honest, I loved not even just like the counter attack through balls, but with having wing backs. If you picked it up in the midfield and the fast build up, and you'll see how the wing backs are set up. The wing backs are darn down that pitch already for you, and then you have your cam position really well and 2 strikers ready to feed. And we'll talk on that in a second here, but it worked well. What I will say is, if you use the long ball quite a lot, as I have done, I've used long ball basically all year, you will notice that the strikers aren't making as many penetrating runs in behind, even if they're on getting behind. So I always just run long ball and get in behind, and they would basically, essentially every single time they're making that darn run. With fast build up, obviously because they're assigned to that, they will still go to get in behind, but it's not done in the long ball run style. It is a little bit different. So if you don't play long ball, you won't notice it, to be honest. If you have played long ball, you will probably have to use like manual L1 or LB runs to get people involved, and 5 players in the box and 2 corners and 2 free kicks. Now, this is how we lined up. Obviously, Trippier was in Mbabu's position at right wing back. Zambrot was fantastic at centre back. Marcos Llorente surprised me at centre back, to be honest. Initially I thought William Carvalho would have been there, but you want the pace. It's okay having that one centre mid be a bit slower, especially when Vasquez is beside him, but you needed that pace at centre back. And Marcos Llorente with a shadow, with his high work rate, did a job. It was Koundé that caused me the most issues. I could not get along with him at all. And here are the tactics. So keeper is balanced. I don't really arse around with that anymore. The centre backs, as you can imagine, are all fully the default. Your left wing back is joining the attack, and so is the right wing back. For quite some time, I had only played the left wing back on it, with the premise that, okay, it still gives me 4 in the back. Mbabu's unbalanced. He's not going to be staying back, but he won't be making as many penetrative runs. And I hit a point where I just want to both bomb forward. And with the fast build up, like I was saying, it just seemed to work for me, because you have Carvalho on your left side. He's going to be your stay back, cover centre, and I also put him on stay on the box for cross, because with him being a centre mid, there are some times where we would do like an L1 or LB pass with him, and obviously that sent him on a run. But and you can deal with that sometimes. Obviously, you still have 3 centre backs back there. But it essentially means rather than him darting into the box and then everyone else going into the box, it just means if you have maybe sent him on a run, he will stay on the edge of the box for you. And if you haven't, and the team's obviously got high, if you pinned this guy in, the opponent in, then he'll just sit on the box. He will hold his position, and he is an outlet for you, which works very, very well. Lucas Vazquez is get forward, get into the box. This is where you want an attacking box-to-box player. Obviously, Vazquez is the right wing, but the way his card is, he can play essentially anywhere in the pitch with those stats. That Hussein Awar card fits quite nicely here. And I haven't tried Del Piero, but I feel outside of the stamina, he might actually work quite well in this role. But yeah, you just want a high, medium, or high box-to-box, 4-star, 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 5-star, anything like that there, and that's basically going to do you lovely. And then João Quinn, I think that's how you pronounce his name. Apologies if it's not. The cam, stay forward free roam. That's bad. I've been preaching that all year. I had initially tested this without their free roam setting, and I'll be honest, it was nowhere near as good. With this formation, obviously you've got 2 strikers, and then you have like your cams operating in the middle. That they can get clumped together quite easily, and with the cam on stay forward as well. He's on the striker's arm. You'll see in a second, but the cam on stay forward basically meant that if he wasn't on free roam, he was colliding with the 2 strikers constantly. There was just 3 people in that tiny little zone. When you put him on free roam, it also pushes the strikers out if he goes centre. So if João Quinn at cam decides to go around the left hand side of Isaac on the free roam, that's fine. You still got 2 strikers. If he goes down the centre, it doesn't. Normally, I'll just stay forward, it would clog the centre, but when he's on free roam, for whatever reason, that then also pushes the left and right striker out a bit, and in turn, it pushes the opponent's centre backs out a little bit. So, if you have a pace merchant in here, and João Quinn, he's not a complete pace merchant, I'm thinking maybe someone like Leon Bailey, that Wamatuka card that came out, big old Waman that everyone's happy about, play them here, and with that free roam down the centre, whenever the strikers spread out, and the centre backs spread out, you're just left with a big massive through ball gap. If that's how you want to play, and you can hit those 3 balls time and time again, that can work. Obviously, people can figure out what you're doing and maybe try and counter it, but then you have other avenues because you've got three lines to go through. It brought so much to the game. It was so nice to play with, and the strikers are the same. They're both on stay central and get in behind. So that is the 5-2-1-2. That's what I believe to be the best tactics. I've tested this past week whilst having an exam. I've got my final exam on Wednesday, so wish me luck for that, guys. And that's me done with uni. That is an exciting time. So if you enjoyed the video, please do leave a big thumbs up on it. It's greatly appreciated and lets me know you're enjoying the content. And if you're new to the channel, hit the subscribe button down below. Just help me on this content journey and we'll keep growing the channel. Now, as I said, there is an exam on Wednesday, so it's very unlikely that there'll be a Wednesday upload. I might get one done for Friday. Obviously, going to be on Wednesday night, sort of celebrate the, number 1, lockdown's over, places are open again. And 2, I finished an exam, so combine those together, go out for a little party and celebrate me finishing uni after 5 years. So Friday may get a little cheeky upload, maybe previewing upcoming team of the Serie A team this season, which I'm very much looking forward to. But that's it. I'll see you in the next one, guys. Have a good day. Goodbye.